This is not a panic video. Nothing I'm about to talk about is mission critical, and none of this is going to break your business or your channel if you don't do it today. But if you're a photographer, a creator, or a YouTuber, there are a handful of small places where your gear, your software, or your online presence might still be living in last year. And those little things don't usually cause problems, but they can quietly make you look unprepared or unprofessional. In this video, I want to walk you through a simple, practical checklist to make sure everything is ready for the new year. No deep tutorials this time. No stress, just a clean reset. This is the kind of stuff nobody notices until they do. I want to be really clear about how this video works. I'm not going to show you how to change every one of these settings step by step. There are just too many of them. Instead, this video is more about awareness. I want you to know where to look so you can decide what actually applies to you and knock it out in your own time. And yes, I have absolutely missed some of these before. That's why part of this list exists. I've made this mistake a few too many times over the years. Let's start with the obvious one, but also the one people only half do. Anything that actually records photos, videos, or audio. Make sure you update your primary camera, obviously. Make sure you update the date, time zone, and then check your backup cameras. Those are frequently overlooked. If you're doing any work where you need to sync footage between two cameras and one has a bad date, the work becomes unnecessarily painful. You may need to update any webcams you use for streaming or recording. Lost among these are also audio recorders and wireless mic systems. This is the one that many people don't think about. Drones and drone controllers. If you have a standalone controller, make sure you update that. And phones, especially if your phone doubles as a Bcam, you might need to check the phone if you use it as a camera and maybe have cellular and Wi-Fi services disabled. The big one people forget here is the copyright info in your camera. If your camera supports it, make sure that metadata is actually current. This is usually a 5-minute sweep. It's very easy to only check the primary camera and forget everything else. Next, anything that touches your files after you capture them. So let's move on to software and file organization. Make sure you update any Lightroom metadata presets. I embed copyright information into every photo that's imported into Lightroom, so I have to make sure I update that every year. If you use file name templates that include year-based naming, well, you'll need to make sure those templates are updated, whether that's in Lightroom or an external file system that you use. You also want to make sure that you update any export presets that create folders automatically, which include the date. I store images that were captured in a given year under a parent folder of that year, so I'll need to create that folder on my primary system in NAS. And if you use project templates in Adobe Premiere or another video editor, those templates will also need to be updated. And your archive folder structure should be updated, and perhaps consider locking your prior year from any changes. You usually won't notice this today. You'll notice this 6 months from now when you're trying to find something or when a client asks for a re-export. I promise you, future you is always more annoyed than present you. This is where things shift from internal to external. This is the stuff clients and viewers see. These updates are important for your public perception. The first one I see year over year is the website footer copyright year. I don't know about you, but when I visit a website and the copyright date on that website is 4 years ago, I start to lose a little confidence in the business. Not only is their website potentially out of date, but this can also be a sign of their lack of attention to detail. You may need to update your privacy policy and terms pages, which often go overlooked. If you have portfolio captions, take a look at those. If you have any language on your website stating we've been in business for X number of years, you might want to consider incrementing that number, or change the language so it says we've been in business since X year. None of this will cost you a client on its own, but collectively, this is the kind of thing that makes someone feel like, oh, they didn't update that. And that's not the impression you want to convey. A good rule of thumb here is this: if it runs without you touching it, it probably still says last year. Make sure any blog templates, email templates, or landing pages are updated accordingly. There are few things more embarrassing than sending out communication with old dates. Double check all your invoices and estimates to make sure those templates reflect the current year. This is also a great time to look over recurring reminders. Are these all still accurate? Do you still need them? Or should you consider deleting them? Are there any reminders that you're missing that you need to add? You don't need to rebuild anything at this point. This is just a quick scan to make sure nothing obvious has slipped through the cracks. This is the quiet, behind-the-scenes stuff that most people never think about. If you use alt text for images on your website, review those for any bad dates. Make sure you update any YouTube description templates and video file metadata. A few other things to take a look at are any templates for social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or even LinkedIn, along with any scheduling tools you might use for socials that are template driven. Now these aren't flashy updates, they're just part of looking put together. I did put all of this into a simple, downloadable checklist so you don't have to remember it all. If that's helpful, you can grab it. Use it once a year and you're done. That's it. There's no email subscription or requirement to buy anything. It's yours for free. The link to grab this will be in the description below. You don't need to fix anything today. You don't even need to fix everything this week. Just knowing where these things live already puts you ahead of most people. But I do recommend picking a few sections that will apply to you, knock them out, and start the year knowing your systems are actually ready. And consider liking and subscribing, and you can even buy me a coffee if this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.